one woman, 3 fantasy suites, 3 beds with wet spots to avoid. Let's do it! So we're in Hawaii. This guy's giving very much Survivor vibes. Like if your roommate walked in just now, they're like, oh, Survivor? It's on? You'd have to be like, no, I'm gonna watch a woman maybe have sex with 3 men tonight. But yeah, we can watch that next week. These people have gotten some major miles from this experience. Like if they were like, hey, do you want to be on The Bachelor or Bachelorette? You'd be like, no. And then they'd be like, well, you're going to go to New Zealand, Australia, Seattle, and Hawaii. And you're getting all the Delta miles. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll embarrass myself. You kidding me? I'll ruin my life for that many Delta miles. She gets the Hawaii lay. How does she not make a joke right now? Like, laid by a woman? I came here to lay 3 men. Better call me a they, them, because you don't know how to identify me. Jen and I walk into hotel rooms very differently from one another. She walks in and smells an orchid. I walk in, the minute the door shuts, it's a long fart that I've been holding in the whole ride from the airport. And then I'm smelling my own fart and going, huh. Much in the way she goes, from the orchid. And then she jumps on the bed. I'm taking that thing off the bed. That is coming off right away. The dirtiest thing that's ever been in a hotel room. Her touching that is way grosser than me farting after the airport ride, because that thing goes immediately on the floor and in a corner, never to be seen the rest of the vacation. Didn't exactly give Jen the suite at the Ritz. This porch is very much the porch of a timeshare your family got for cheaper because it's during the off season. Not exactly a glamorous porch. What are you going to do with that table? It's a dining room table on a porch. What is she going to do? Serve Thanksgiving? So for some reason, Molly Mesnick, Jason Mesnick's wife, from The Bachelor, they're from like 7,000 seasons ago, and they were on an earlier episode this season, but they're not even like big players in Bachelor Nation. Like, it very much seems like Jason and Molly were having like marital things, and they're like, hey, let's go back to the show that brought us together. And then they petition them like with 7,000 emails like, please give us a vacation. Jen is about to make the biggest decision of her life, and she's met this woman for 15 minutes, and she's like, yeah, I'll tell her what to do. I'll make sure she does the right thing. No. Her friends and family, no, we don't need them. I'm Molly Mesnick. I won season 10 14,000 years ago. So I had to rewind. Jen introduces all the guys, and Jonathan is out looking at the ocean, and Marcus is in the city streets just hanging, and then Devin is out playing golf with Jesse Palmer. Like, how did he get this gig? How are they going to hide from the other 2 guys? Oh, yeah, we were just out by the golf course. They gave us some clubs, and they said, you guys go play, because someone didn't show up. Yeah, no. We would have called you, but we don't have cell phones. I'd be so mad if I was the other guys. They're all chilling on the golf course. So Devin gets the first shot at a fantasy suite, and here's Jen, who claimed to have a fear of heights when she came on the show, and now this is like her 15th helicopter date. Did she sign up for the show being like, hey, I'd like to find a husband and I'd like to break this fear of flying. Let's get both done at once. Because at this point, she's been on enough of these to actually fly the helicopter. So Devin has already said he loves Jen. And Jen is giving very much like, I'm not there yet vibes. She just goes, it's crazy how blue your eyes are. And he was like, they're not blue. That's so funny, you messed it up. So hilarious, you don't even know me. She's like, I guess I got away with that one. He thought it was cute because anything I do is cute because he loves me. So they go on a helicopter and they drink champagne, but this is where Jen would get to know me. I'd be like, we're sitting on the ground? Isn't there a beach chair? My leg's gonna fall asleep. Can we like go somewhere else? Maybe a rock that's kind of like a chair where I can sit up? Like, this is where she would learn that I can complain about anything. This is where she would dry up and decide that the fantasy suite wasn't really for us. Devin's biggest issue is that the other 2 guys are like hard bodies, and he's coming in with dad bod, and I am not any different than him. And he made a very good decision. He went shirt on all day until there was low lighting. That's what I would have done. I would have been like, oh, yeah, the lighting's right for me to, show my man boobs. Okay. This was a good, professional dad bod move by Devin. Good on him. We're at the nighttime portion. Jenn and Devin come dressed as if they're going to be the most random people at the Michael Rubin white party. Yeah, we're from The Bachelor. Oh, no, you didn't see our season? And Michael, I guess, is a huge fan, so yeah, we came. Yeah.
I am very confident in how I feel about you.
Devin has told Jenn he loves her over 100 times.
Because it hasn't always been so clear.
He's like, it's clear for me. This is the face you don't want someone making after being like, it's clear for me that I love you. She's like, that's interesting. That's interesting because I haven't said it back. But I'm happy you're being so open with me while I am so not.
Because I feel so strongly about you that I don't think...
Devin's putting it all out there.
Without telling you.
Look at it. I can't go another day without telling you how much I love you. You can tell. Jenn knows that he is everything she has said she wants, but he's not the guy for her. And she's dealing with that right now. Because she knows any woman would be like, he wants to have a house and kids and get engaged with you. And why would you turn that down? Don't you want love? And she'd be like, yeah, but I don't know. I don't get that feeling I get when I take a shot of tequila and woo after it.
So, you're in love.
Jenn, let him go.
Where do you see it all?
Come on. Who's watching this?
I am
Cheering for Jenn right now. So, you're in love. Now repeat it again, and I will repeat that I'm not sure yet again. Let him go. Let him find his person. So even though Jenn doesn't love Devin, she gives him a note, and let's read. We'll get a close-up of the note. Hold on. So he gets the invite to the fantasy suite, and then he says to Jenn, he's like, so?
I'm game if you're game.
Oh, that's what you want to hear. I'm game if you're game. He just confessed his love to this woman. He's like, so do you want to go back to your room? I'm game if you're game. If little Devin downstairs is cool, then we can push on through. Then maybe I'll love you after this. We'll see. So they go to the fantasy suite, which it used to be more fantasy. This is more grandma's old bedroom set. Like, that looks less sexy and more Glade plugins, and there's plastic on the couches. They wake up next to each other. Get ready for the weirdest comment.
People say Devin looks like Pete Davidson, but after last night, I'd say he's better than Pete Davidson.
What is that? They just slept together, and she's like, people say he looks like Pete. Who's people? They've been secluded from society. No one knows who Devin is yet. This show hasn't aired yet. Did you sleep with Pete Davidson? How would you know that he's better? If someone did this to me the day after we slept together, if they were like, people say he looks like a male version of Rosie O'Donnell, but I'd say he's way better than when I hooked up with Rosie O'Donnell. I would be very upset with this camera angle if I was Devin. I don't want them shooting me from the foot of the bed. I'd be like, hey, can you guys get on the ceiling from my forehead down, possibly? I'm going to need you to be behind the headrest of the bed and going downwards, much like I would do an Instagram story. I can't have this foot of the bed under the chin nonsense. So Jenn leaves him. He gives one more love you, and she goes, okay. Did she say okay? Oh no, Devin. Get back in that room and start farting. Have a day. She's gone now. You can be yourself. She's like, bye. I'd be like, okay, go. I have to fart. She's just up there. She's like, here's some friend kisses. He's like, I always forget that Jen's Gen Z until I see like her morning after outfit, which is just like a normal Gen Z outfit. Gen Z women dress like a walking hamper. Like those shoes, like you're outside in those? Gen Z women will put on a fishing cap and hold a fishing rod and be like, ready for the club. So they go to this donut cart, and you find out that Jonathan, on his one-on-one date,
The biggest sweets guy in the world?
is a big health nut. She orders like 7 donuts, which you should. And he's like, my God.
My God.
He says, my God. He's like, you're getting them all? I would send him home right now. I'd be like, go home and masturbate with your lettuce cups because we're having donuts or there's no fantasy suite for you. You either eat the donut with the filling or nobody gets filled.
It's definitely worth the cheat day for sure.
He just said cheat day in Hawaii, that it's worth the cheat day. I would send him home immediately. Worth the cheat day? We are in Hawaii eating donuts on the tab of ABC, and you're talking about cheat days? What are you getting ready for, Mr. America? Send him home. It's over. So they're on this, like, tour of Hawaii date, and every time they get food, like, I'm just, like, wondering, like, is he, like, sitting there being like, I guess I'll fake eating this? What's this gonna do to my protein intake? Am I gonna have to do extra sit-ups before we get into the fantasy suite? When can I get my steps in? Like, I don't know if I can look at Jonathan the same way again. I don't know how Jenn still has him around. They make their way to a picnic at this waterfall, and then there's a city bus station bench waiting for them. Does the Bachelor just have a van full of benches for whenever they need a date to happen or a conversation to happen? There's literally nothing sexy about sitting on this bench together. The waterfall's not a movie. Honestly, this is the couch you sit on when you're in marriage counseling, not one you sit on when you're like, hey, should we go to the fantasy suite together or not? So they really don't get that deep with each other, like no deeper than anyone would get at a like bar where they met for the first time, and he's like, why don't we get as naked as possible and let me show you what those cheat meals are all for. And then they just rub on each other. Devin's like, I love you, and he's like, hey, want to swim near the waterfall? And she's like, game. Now it's the nighttime portion of the date, and Jenn is dressed for the nicest Miami nightclub, and John looks like a kid who didn't want to wear a suit to a wedding, and this was the compromise he made with his mom. Like, not even socks or pants that fit. This isn't, they look like they're on 2 different dates. So now they're on the dinner date, and they're sitting side by side. This would not work for anyone that has even a little fat on their body. Like, John has great bone structure, and that is coming in huge for him. If I was next to her on this couch, I would have to, like, fully put my leg up on the couch so I could face her directly so that she wouldn't get a side shot of me chewing. Especially on the date before she maybe invites me to the sex suite. So Jenn and Jonathan have what I would call like date 3 conversations, not like pre-getting engaged conversations. And that is a guy who knows he's going to get blown tonight. That is the face of, oh man, I got my ticket to the promised land. So he opens up the note and let's see what it says. They go back to the fantasy suite and they clink champagne glasses. I mean, those glasses are huge. That's a champagne glass. It's bigger than her head. It's like what they would give you at a Margaritaville as a joke if anyone ordered champagne. Like, yeah, sure, we got champagne for you. And then they bring out like a bucket. Yeah, we got big gulps here. That's how we drink our champagne. I love when they come back to the room, they show the judgy bird, the bees, the flowers, all innuendo to them that having sex the night before. I wonder what the bird was saying. Yes, I saw everything. Jenn is quite a minx in the sack. But Jonathan, what a body. He looks like the type that keeps a strict diet and then does a cheat meal every now and again to shock his system a bit. Good for him. Yeah, I've been eating a little too much seed lately, so I had to look away. It's a little bit embarrassing. I'm as fat as I've ever been. But Jonathan has really inspired me to get back on it. They show Jonathan's like post-date fantasy suite snuggle with Jenn, and then they show Devin who's going through it. He's really hurting, and I don't blame him. He knows something's off. Look what she wore after his fantasy suite versus after Jonathan's. Jonathan's, she's dressed like for prom. Devin's, she was dressed as the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2. I couldn't understand why Jenn wasn't like into Devin. He gives her everything. Love. He wants to start a life together. And then I saw the Tivas. Yeah, that's... I don't know if anyone's going to sign up for that, Devo. Yeah, the sound of Velcro unvelcroing has dried up many a vagine. So now Marcus goes and plays golf with Jesse too. Jesse Palmer is like a dad who like barely cares about his kids. They're like, yeah, I'm really going through something. Where's Jesse? Oh, he's out on the 9th hole. Go see if you can catch him. He'll listen to you while he swings a 9-iron. Look at, he's like, sounds like you got a lot to think about. Well, all right, well, good luck with that. Now, watch me smack this drive. We have the one-on-one date with Marcus, and Jenn is going for it. She's like, lose the fuzzy shawl, lose the shirt. We're going two-piece. I'm making this American hero love me once and for all. So they're going to go snorkeling with the manta rays who light up at night. It's literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If I'm the other two guys, like, I'm a little bit upset. Like, yeah, we both went to the same waterfall and looked at it. Marcus is going to get to literally experience Planet Earth, the TV show, from the water. I mean, look at what they are looking at. I would be with the dumbest questions. I'd be like, where is their brain and their eyes? You would find out how dumb I was immediately on this date. Also, how much of a wuss. I'd be like, get it away from me. Does the tail sting you? Is it gonna hurt me? Have you ever heard of Steve Irwin? What is this? Who got him? So Marcus will not say I love you to Jenn. And he's giving her the "you're the best, but I don't love you" speech.
I've never met anyone.
I've never met anyone like you. Never met anyone so awesome.
And I think
Never met anyone so beautiful. Never met anyone so much that I didn't love. So Marcus hits her with the dagger.
it's been hard for me to get to a point where I feel like comfortable saying that I'm like in love.
Oy. See, at that point, she's got to go, okay, good luck. I'll shake this off. It's going to take a minute, but good to know you. And that does not happen. Marcus is like, so, fantasy suite. Now that the love stuff is out of the way, he's not moving. I would, get up, dude. It's over. Go home.
You make me feel amazing.
So Marcus says, I don't love you, but you make me feel amazing, which I'm sure is just as good. That's pretty good. I'm sure if Jenn went back to the brunch table and was like, now he said he didn't love me, but I make him feel amazing. So for that reason, I invited him to the fantasy suite. They'd all be like, totally get it. Right. Absolutely. I'm sure the brunch table would approve. So Jenn says, I'm going to raise your I don't love you with a, here's a fantasy suite invite. Let's see what the card says. Marcus just said that best case scenario, he gets clarity on this situation. And then they march up to the treehouse that was 7 feet from the dinner. You're going to get clarity, buddy. You're going to wake up in the morning going, oh, God, I just slept with someone who said they love me, and I said I wasn't sure yet, and I'm still not sure, but I probably don't love them, damn it. Watch this swipe of the chin Marcus does. It's very evil villain kissing his evil accomplice bride. Look at that. The fingers on the chin. Doesn't that look like they just hatched a scheme? And he's like, bring it in here, honey. We're gonna make millions. She asked him how the date went last night.
Date yesterday was awesome.
He's like, it was awesome. She's like, yeah, it was pretty awesome. You said you didn't love me. I told you I loved you. And then I invited you up to this treehouse and we got naked together. Then you woke up really early and started doing push-ups with the claps in between them and jumping jacks. I guess that's the rest of our life together. No emotional intimacy and you doing a lot of push-ups in the morning. I guess I'm an army wife now. Marcus is a little too chipper after this nighttime date. And Jen, you can tell, is like, I don't know if that was the best idea. I mean, he didn't even eat any of the food. He's like, I'm going to get going, babe. I'm going to go hang out at the beach and get a tan. But, yeah, I'll see you when I see you. And then he says goodbye. He's like, see ya.
I'll miss you.
Miss ya. I'll talk to you, whenever. And then she walks off to, I guess, the river. She's going to go swim home. She's like, yeah, I'll just be on my way. No, I don't need an Uber. You don't have to call me an Uber. I'll walk it. I got a lot to think about. So Devin is here at the hotel bar, very much looking like a guy who walked in on his wife sleeping with someone on their honeymoon. He's got the 5 o'clock shadow, hands interlocked, drink in front of him. He's like, I thought she was the one. And then you meet one Zumba trainer in Hawaii and it's over. So they somehow get Jesse Palmer off the golf course. They're like, Devin's really going through it. Can you please come out here? And Jesse fake listens. He's like, yeah. Just shake your head. He's like, can you just hurry up? I got another 18 to play and I figured out the driver. Just got to narrow my stance, loosen my wrists a little bit. But yeah. No. She doesn't love me.
Again, told her I loved her on the way out.
Devin is pouring his heart out. Look at Jesse fake listening.
Because I keep giving.
It's like he's talking to a Madame Tussauds sculpture that keeps shaking its head a little bit every 5 minutes. He's like, no, you keep giving and giving. I say the same thing to my driver. I'm like, come on, I keep giving and you won't give me anything back. Stop slicing. Devin says he's getting no sleep.
I don't sleep here.
You can see the moment Jesse realizes he misses his tea time.
It's okay.
Right there. Yeah. He's like, damn it. I'm going to miss the 11:10 a.m. tea time. There might be one this afternoon, but then I'll be late for the rose ceremony. They can do it without me. All I got to say is, and here's the final rose. Someone can do that in post. So Devin decides to show up at Jen's door. She's like, Marcus, you love me? Oh, it's Devin. That's it for the Bachelorette. And that's it for me. I will not be back tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll get a live stream in by the end of the week, but I got a show tomorrow night. But I'll be back next week for sure. Share. Tell a friend about this great show.